Wow. That's enough for 2 people.
That it can take more than 2. It can actually take 12 people sitting. Wow. Or you can take 3 chairs out and put a gurney. And we ordered it with 2 gurneys. So if I put both inside, I can have 2 patients lying down and I can have 6 people treated. Wow. This here is the whole operation scene. Everything is computerized, as you can see, and it uses a bus system, touch screen, everything connected. You can drive yourself with joysticks. Here you get all the vital signs and medical parameters. Here you have the program and the profile you're driving, showing you exactly where you are, showing you the gases inside, the percentages, everything is analyzed constantly. Here you have 4 pictures, 4 frames showing you each camera what it's taking, and you can choose one of them if you have a critical patient or somebody you need to look at and have it full size on that one. You can change the way you see things, and whatever is showing on that screen and on that screen, you can record, and you can record up to 3,000 cases a minute. And at the end, you print out the whole treatment profile and everything that happens. In spite of having it like that, fully computerized, since I'm old-fashioned, and I believe that computers have their glitches, we have ordered here a manual override or the pneumatic stand. So you can again run the whole operation manually and control what goes in and what goes out. Before we go inside, let me show you the production unit. These are the 2 verticus compressors, and once they're on, they're set in a way that if the pressure drops to 180 bars, they automatically start and take it up to 220 bars. These are 80 liter tanks, 11 in one bank and 10 in the other bank, so a total of 21 tanks. Both banks put together of 80 liters and 220 bars. So they last me for an eternity. Okay? This is a water chiller, water heater, and this keeps the environment inside well conditioned. And this here is what makes Germans who they are. Wow. This is a good expression of proper electrical control. Yeah. And knowing that it's working here, it has even a small fan inside.
And who's running the maintenance?
Us. We have sent an engineer, Munir Nagib, to Germany to get some training. Certain things, of course, need to be done by the manufacturer for liability, but the daily maintenance, the normal stuff, changing of fuses, we do it, and if we get stuck, we call Munir, and if Munir gets stuck, we call the company. Before I show you the inside, it's important to stop here.
Buffer tank?
No. This here is the latest and most efficient firefighting system. Okay. Although I believe that the fire is always disastrous, even if you have the latest firefighting system, and we don't have a record of anybody coming out alive of a chamber fire, but you still get the best that's available. This is called a spray fog deluge system. The water is sprayed from above, fog comes from below. The idea behind the fog is to create a medium that absorbs the heat energy. And in here we have 500 liters of water, pressurized, and they can be all spent inside the chamber in under 9 seconds.
Wow.
So you can imagine the force, the pressure, and the efficiency. Let's have a look inside. These are two modems, one here and one over there. Two stations, docking stations, where you attach the monitors that measure the vital signs. Okay? This here is the
double lock.
Yes. We call it the medical lock. That's whatever you need. This is for measurements of the environment inside, capnometry, cameras, lights. These are the sprinklers for the spray. And down there you see where the fog comes out. This is a carbon dioxide scrubber, large size. In there you have what we call the weather station.
Okay.
It shows you the time, it shows you the humidity, the oxygen, whatever you need to know is all in there. The masks for treatment, gurney, and I put in the specs that I want these attachments. These attachments allow me to use a different type of mask which I have in the old chamber, the Scots aviation mask. So I have 4 of these corresponding to the other 4 masks we have. Something that makes this chamber very, very special is this machine here. If you have a patient that is not breathing on his own and needs to be put on a ventilator, it is always a problem in chambers because ventilators work with certain pressures. Ventilators have pumps and motors inside, and all these things are not allowed inside the chamber. So 2 companies produced in the whole world produced 2 models only that are allowed and accepted inside hyperbaric environments, and this is one of them. And as far as my knowledge goes, we're the only chamber in the Middle East equipped to deal and treat sport and recreational diving accidents that is equipped with a ventilator. Now we come to the outer lock, and on the outer lock it's a nice and comfortable outer lock where you can actually sit, not like in the old one, and it takes too comfortably. Here we have a watch, a clock, but we've taken it out because we need to change the batteries. And one of the things, for instance, I can't find the batteries in Egypt.
What type of battery?
It's a Duracell, but a special model.
So
I asked 4 of them to bring me some, and friends are arriving today with 4 batteries. Now I take you to my inner sanctum, to something that I'm very proud of. This here, by the way, is the delivery system of the gases. One is for the oxygen and one is for mixed gas. I've asked the company to give me the facility to mix gases. So they told me it's not something on the shelf. Tell us what you want, draw it. So I drew it very unprofessionally, but exactly expressing my needs. And then they came up with a nice engineered piece of equipment, and this is what it ended up being. And these are the lines that I'm telling you about. Stainless steel. What do we have here? We have from the bank air arriving, compressed air. We have oxygen and we have helium. Using these 2, I make my first mix, which is 4060 nitrox. And it goes into the white tanks over there, marked mixed gas 1, high pressure. The next 2 give me my second mix, which is 50-50 nitrox. And then using the oxygen and the helium, I get my third mix, which is Heliox 50/50. And this way, I can boost my gases directly up to 200 bars, and I have all the gas mixes that I need for treatment, and I don't need to order and wait. This way, we are self-sufficient and all self-contained. This is the oxygen that we use for the treatments. We have 6 tanks here, we have 6 spares, and we have outside, shared with the other chamber, another 15 tanks. So, we're not going to run out of oxygen soon. And when you come and look over here, these are very efficient filters for gas filters. Because everything that you see, all the lines that you see are oxygen clean.
So just in case anything passes in,
any hydrocarbons could cause an explosion. So these are 10 microns or less. And here we have another 2 more oxygens coming in. And we have the third one over there, and the fourth one at the end. So all the gases, that's other than the normal filters.
Has to be fun for whoever that's building this.
It's also fun to use, but I will be very honest with you. The old chamber, we know now because, I mean, we designed every piece in it. So you can take me in blindfolded and I can have it operational in 2 minutes. This one takes about 15 minutes to set up and prepare. Okay?
But you are warned ahead of time somebody's coming anyway, most of the time?
Most of the time, but not all of the time. Sometimes they appear at your door and with a small truck, and you see them carrying 4, each one holding to an end of a blanket, and they get you somebody and throw him at your door and leave. We've had that happen several times. This is a defib with a built-in pacemaker. And this is a transcutaneous monitor for oxygen and CO2.
and I have a small one.
Yes, now this is different. This one measures through the skin, the other one works at a different manner with the color. Bas, and that's it. So what we need now is tourists.
It's more related to some
Nationalities.
nationalities.
طبعا.
It is, yes, it is the style of diving. Okay? But the people that have the highest rate of accidents usually don't come to the chamber. They give them a bottle of vodka. I'm not joking. And they send them all 3 hours of normal baric oxygen and put them on a plane and send them back home. Yes.
We don't want to.
Which is stupid when you have this facility here.
Exactly.
And a diving accident would be fully supported here.
Yes, definitely.
Obviously,
We have never.
you
We are
you
very
would
proud
Yeah.
to say that since the 10th of March 1993, this chamber over there, we have never closed for a single day, and we have never told no to anyone. So far we
I
have
think that some countries would be happier to treat their decompression patients here instead of their own countries.
Yes.
Some countries do
Yes.
not have installations like this one.
I think the installation is very important, but I think what's more important is the experience of the people treated. You can have
a fantastic hardware, and you have no software to run it and no people to
Yes.
do what needs to do.
And that's why, and this is something good about Dan, the Dan directors, we act, first of all, it's an honorary job. We don't get paid for it. But we act also as consultants to anybody that wants to ask. And so I get very weird calls sometimes. I had once a call from a private yacht somewhere in the South Pacific. Yes, and they had a chamber on board that they didn't know how to operate.
Okay.
And they didn't know how to do many things. And as a result, on the satellite phone, I stayed connected to the engineer, taught him how to mix gas,
Wow.
told him how to treat the case, and we ended up having a phone conversation for 8 hours and a half. But the guy survived.
Well, that's the
But I
possible-
hate to think what the bill was for the phone conversation over satellite.